Now, whole notes, half notes, and quarter notes are great for slow music, but if you want to play something really, really exciting, chances are you're going to want to play a sound in music that lasts for less than one beat, so actually a fraction of a beat. Of course, everything we've measured up to this point has always been at least one beat, so in this lesson we're going to try something new and learn some names for sounds in music that last for less than one beat. So I've got here this sort of magnified view. I've zoomed in on our little beat timeline to show just 4 beats here, but I'm going to be able to split these things up into slightly smaller chunks. So the shortest note we've looked at so far has been a quarter note, and that's a note that lasts for exactly one beat in the music. So here's a quarter note, and that sound lasts for one beat. But what if we want to find a sound that fits sort of in between the beats? So it's not something that's going to start on a beat and end on a beat, but actually sit in between the beats in the music or the clicks that a metronome would make. Well, we'll definitely be doing that, and we'll find that actually some of the most exciting rhythms do happen when the sounds fit in between the beats in this way. So if we'll remember, this was a quarter note, so a 1 beat note. Just to revise that, 1 beat note is a quarter note. Now, say we wanted to come up with a sound that was half a beat long. So I've got this sound here, and it fits kind of in between the second and third beats on my little timeline. I haven't got all the way to the end, I haven't gone all the way between the 2 and the 3. I've made a sound that fitted exactly in between and finished. This is supposed to be halfway. So this is half a beat. So this one is 1 beat long and fits exactly in between the marks on my little timeline, and this one is half a beat. So the question is, what would we call this? Well, if we think of a quarter, can we half a quarter? Well, we can. Half of a quarter is an eighth. So sounds that fit in between beats and last for half a beat are called eighth notes. Now say that we wanted to split this beat up even more and split it up into 4 equal chunks. We have a way of doing that. Now, this is a bit more difficult to draw. Imagine these are 4 equal chunks of this beat. I'll just try and put some arrows in here to show it split up. So we've taken a quarter note and split it up not into 2, which would be eighth notes, but we split it up into 4, which is the next type of note that we'll be looking at. And again, half of an eighth is a 16th. So if we split a beat up into 4 equal pieces, that would be a series of 16th notes. And actually we can keep going, so I won't draw it out here on our timeline, but we can keep splitting the beats up into smaller and smaller fractions. So the next one would be a 32nd note, and then a 64th note, and then even a 128th note, but they come up incredibly rarely, so we generally don't ever see them in music that we're playing. However, we've got to think about beats in this way, so we can start with sounds that are very, very long. We might take a whole note, and of course we can play sounds that are even longer than this, and we have special names that maybe we'll look at in the future for sounds that last even more than 4 beats. But most of the time 4 beats is a really good long note to play, and that's called a whole note. We break that up into 2, we get a half note, and then we break that down into 1 beat sounds, and that gives us a quarter note, and then we get into what we've been doing here, which is taking that whole beat and breaking it down into smaller fractions. And so we have a half of a beat, so a note that lasts for half a beat, which is called an eighth note, and then a note that lasts for a quarter of a beat, which is known as a 16th note. Now, I'm sure you're really desperate to have a go at using some of these new notes that we've just been learning about to make some rhythms, and that's what we're going to do next. And we'll find that even with a very small number of different note lengths, we can produce something really, really fun, grooving, driving, and something that makes us want to dance.